Okay, so this is my Irish arts summative argument assessment. So what I did for mine is I did like a presentation with all these cool images that I think represent each art form, and I wrote a small little paragraph, and then in each art form I'm gonna have like a little bit about how it supports my main claim, and then I'm going to end on like a big kind of broader claim about Irish arts in general, which I'm pretty excited for. It's pretty controversial. I think you're going to like it. So well, I'm going to start with my thesis. So my thesis is the Irish arts show the world that the most meaningful messages come from those that aren't in the upper class of society. The Irish arts come in many forms, but in all of them, there are valuable themes that can be taken and applied to everyday life, which is why the Irish arts are so valuable. Sorry, to unplug. I'm having some trouble focusing at home, so working from the office. Oh no, my speaker isn't. Oh no. Okay, I really hope this is recording. I'm getting messages now saying that my speaker isn't recording, but I think it is. Oop, okay. So first we have Fairy Tale of New York. So Fairy Tale of New York is a story of how an Irish couple who immigrated to the USA. Irishmen primarily immigrated to New York, which is where the story takes place, and it's a story about how they moved to New York to make it in the entertainment industry, and they ultimately didn't make it, if you will. And the song shows an argument between the two main characters. So the main character is stuck in a drunk tank, and he hears an old man singing, and then he relives, and that's the song, an old Irish song, and he reminisces about Ireland, the land he so dearly misses. So what is the greater theme here? So the greater theme is immigration, alcoholism, and then of course and a disagreement between spouses. So these are some major themes in Irish history. A lot of Ireland is an island, so people from Ireland really they only could go out of Ireland, so a lot of people moved out of Ireland. And then alcoholism, it's really sad, but it's rampant, like pub and bar culture. It's a huge thing in Ireland, and it really brings everyone together, which is friendship, which is a theme we'll get to later. But at the same time, it did hurt the Irish people quite a bit. And then disagreement between spouses, as we'll also get to later. Irish women haven't been treated the best throughout history, and I think it's hinted at a little bit in the song. So the second one is Maeve Brennan, The Holy Tear. So this is a short story in which a seasoned Irish woman is taken down by the younger Irish lady who wants what she has and despises the older woman's success and popularity. So this is more about how Irish women haven't been treated amazingly, and Maeve Brennan portrays it in a really interesting way because she is actually a woman. She was a woman, an Irish writer, and she portrays it that it's her in this story. The underlying message is if women work together in Ireland, maybe they could solve the issue of how which Irish women have been plagued by for a really long time, which is that they're like primarily the housekeepers and the housewives, which kind of keeps them at the bottom of society and maybe hurts them a little bit. So instead of working together in the story, they fight and they continue their status as being treated as lower class. And this image is a picture of Maeve Brennan. Okay, so Seamus Heaney. So this is the story Digging. So story of it's a poem of a young writer who admires his father and grandfather for working so hard digging in the field and farming potatoes. He didn't follow their footsteps and actually became a writer, and now he's writing about this. And it just shows that the Irish working class is evolving from potatoes, from a more agricultural based economy to one based on ideas. So I'm guessing that the story is written during the Great Potato Famine, which is actually when my Irish relatives came to America. So I think a lot of Irish people moved out of Ireland because, well, the potato famine, of course. And potatoes are just such a big part of Irish life. I had to put this in as a big theme in Irish life. So, but the greater theme is that Ireland is transitioning away from the potatoes of the past, if you will, to a more modern, if you will, economy. So, on to the next. So this is Andrew S. Allen, 50% Gray. So this is, I'm not going to ruin the short film, but it's a film about death and the afterlife. And it's a very Christian afterlife, which says a lot about the religion of Ireland and Catholicism, and how Catholicism actually has suppressed the Irish people. But in this short film, it shows the Irish thoughts on the afterlife, and I think it's really interesting, and I would highly recommend it. It's super short, but you're gonna be left wanting more. So next we got Waking Ned Devine. Okay, I gotta move my head so you can see him on the motorcycle. So so Waking Ned Devine. So this is the story of so I just couldn't resist putting that image in. Okay, so this film follows two senior men who found out that their friend won the lottery but died shortly after. So they go on a journey to claim the money for themselves and the town. So the film is set in Craignish, a small town in the Isle of Man. So the Isle of Man it's a medium-sized island in between Ireland and Britain. And throughout the film, the viewer is subjected to the absolutely beautiful geography of Ireland, and it ends in it leaves you a nice, happy feeling, and when everything goes for the best. And I just wanted to show just the beautiful geography of Ireland, and this Irish art form really shows that. And so the theme that this Irish art form is showing is friendship and a little bit of camaraderie. So of course, friendship is present in every culture, but I would argue that Irishmen have a different kind of friendship. For hundreds of years, the Irish have been suppressed by the British Empire, forced to stay at a small island. So through this, the Irish have developed a close-knit community that is essential because they don't have anyone else to go to, or they can't really leave. So they need each other to survive. And I think an Irish friendship is a little bit different than any other type of friendship. So next we have the commitments. The commitments. So this story follows a band living in the slums of Dublin, I believe, and it gives the viewer some insight into everyday Irish life. Out of all of these art pieces, the commitments shows just what it was like to be an Irishman the most, I think. Not an Irishman, an Irish person. So it has a kind of a social commentary on how life is only as bad as you make it, and the commitments don't have a lot of money, they don't have a lot of everything, but they make it work, and they manage to live a good life, which is something not everyone could say. And of course, this shows that the Irish arts are trying to show people that life's only as good as you make it. So some themes in this one are friendship, camaraderie, and resilience. So all of these Irish arts work together to show someone. This is the ending of my argument. So all these Irish arts work together to show people that some valuable themes that everyone should apply into your everyday life, and that's the value of the Irish arts, that you should apply them to your everyday life and use them, and that's what makes it so meaningful. So this is my final, little bit more controversial claim. I know they do these in sports takes to make it a little bit more, get more views, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully this is what's happening in this one. So the Irish arts are more valuable to the world than the British arts because they are more well-rounded and specific. Ireland is Ireland is an island similar to Britain, but the British have traveled all over the world and their culture has become something of a melting pot. Ireland, if you look at a world map of places where Britain has invaded, it's all over the world pretty much. Ireland hasn't invaded anyone else, which I'm going to say is a positive in this situation, because The British culture has become somewhat of a melting pot, and it's not as pure as the Irish culture. So with the Irish arts, they're super specific and more developed and have more of their own sense than the British arts, which is why my final claim that I'm going to leave you on is that the Irish arts are better than the English and British arts.